Thank you for your love and support today. I am back with a new reading for all of you about the current situation of your person. Let's get started. There is a divine masculine who has been navigating through a distorted perception of masculinity for a long time. His journey has been filled with confusion and misunderstanding, particularly around what it means to truly step into his power. He's been operating from a place of deep emotional wounding, resulting in patterns of behavior that do not align with his high self or purpose. This man, in his distorted state, seeks out women who are easily manipulated and controlled, hoping they will fill the void left by his unhealed trauma. In these women, he looks for something to validate his sense of power, mistaking control for strength. Yet, beneath this surface behavior lies a deeper fear of emotional vulnerability, fear of true intimacy, and fear of stepping fully into the divine masculine role that requires him to take responsibility for his own healing and growth. Deep down, he is afraid of evolving into the divine masculine state, which demands that it confront his shadows and embrace qualities like vulnerability, compassion, and accountability. In his distorted perception, masculinity is equated with strength that comes from control, silence, and a suppression of emotions. He believes that showing emotions, admitting his need for love, or seeking support would be a sign of weakness, something a real man should avoid at all costs. As a result, this man has developed a profound fear of intimacy. He shies away from anything that requires emotional depth or accountability, preferring relationships where he feels he has the upper hand. He doesn't want to confront his own emotional wounds because doing so would mean taking responsibility for his own happiness and well-being, something he has been avoiding for a long time. Rather than facing these fears head-on and committing to his inner work, he continues to pursue relationships with women he can easily control. These women, often insecure or needy, present less of a challenge. They do not push him out of his comfort zone or require him to grow, and for now, that feels safer to him. However, this dynamic is deeply unfulfilling for both parties involved. The divine masculine never truly feels seen, understood, or loved in these connections because the relationships are based on control rather than genuine emotional exchange. Similarly, the women he involves himself with often feel used, discarded, and emotionally abandoned once the initial excitement of the connection fades. Both parties are left feeling empty, as these relationships lack the emotional depth required to sustain lasting fulfillment. His emotional wounds remain unhealed, and as long as he continues to operate from this space of control and fear, he cannot fully step into the divine masculine state. The true divine masculine is not about control or dominance. It is about balancing, embracing both masculine and feminine energies in harmony. It is about courage, strength, and also compassion and love. It requires accountability for one's actions and emotions, and the ability to stand in truth while being vulnerable and open. Over time, he is beginning to recognize the significance of the divine feminine in his life. This recognition is profound, yet terrifying for him. The divine feminine represents all that he has suppressed within himself: intuition, emotion, compassion, and creation. He feels a deep, undeniable pull toward her because she is the key to his healing. But this also means he must confront the parts of himself he has long ignored. He is still seeking attention and validation from other women in an attempt to distract himself from this personal growth, but karma is now forced in his hand. He can no longer hide from the truth. Karma is compelling him to ascend, to face his fears, and to heal his deep-rooted wounds. The divine feminine, in all her wisdom and power, can see through his illusions. She knows his potential, and she can guide him toward healing, but he must be willing to embrace her energy, rather than fear it. Her compassion, intuition, and strength are not to be feared. They are a source of great healing for him. In fact, the divine feminine holds the key to helping him connect with his emotions, enhance his intuition, and find balance within his own masculine energy. The time has come for him to embrace his true self. He can no longer attract distorted relationships because his energy is shifting. His previous tactics of control and manipulation no longer work, and the distorted feminine energy he once sought no longer appeals to him. As a result, he finds himself in a period of solitude, which is deeply uncomfortable for him. He has always used external validation to distract himself from his inner void, but now, without that distraction, he is forced to confront the emptiness he feels within. This is a critical turning point for him. He can no longer rely on the energy of others, particularly distorted women, to fill his sacral chakra and boost his sense of power. He is now tasked with generating his own energy, raising his own vibration, and stepping into his true divine masculine state. This process is not easy, feels drained, lost, and without direction. The energy depletion he is experiencing stems from years of relying on external sources for validation and power. And now, without that source, he must learn to cultivate his own strength. His impulsive distractions, whether it's through material pursuits like motorcycles and travel, or through addictions and bad habits, are no longer enough to numb the pain. These distractions only serve as temporary fixes, and he is starting to see that they cannot provide the lasting happiness he truly seeks. Instead, they have been contributing to the very void he has been trying to fill. Without the external validation of women's attention, he is faced with the reality of his own emotional wounds. His journey ahead is one of healing and transformation. He must confront his fears, heal his wounds, and learn to stand in his power as the true divine masculine. It is only by embracing both his masculine and feminine energies that he will find the balance, peace, and fulfillment he seeks. This process is not just about becoming a stronger man, it's about becoming a whole, integrated being, and while it may be challenging, it is the only path forward for him. This reading is general, so take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.